Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and today I'm going to show you how I modified this ripple beanie pattern that had it cinched at the top to make it look like this. So it is not cinched at the top. I'm not going to give you the whole tutorial. If you'd like to do that, in the description below will be a link to the tutorial that teaches you how to make this part of the hat. So this part of the hat, all the way up to where, look at all this flipping I'm doing, a front post double crochet, and then you do these two stitches together, double crochet together, 2 stitches, front post double crochet. So this is the last row that she shows you, and then she has you weave this in and out of these stitches all the way around, and then you pull it tight and it fastens off the hat, and then you can have like pom-pom on top. Well, because I am not good at making pom-poms, and the pom-pom makers that I've bought do not make nice firm pom-poms because they're cheap generic ones, I decided to make this a closed off hat. So what I do here is chain up 2. I go into this kind of like messy stitch to do a half of a double crochet, yarn over, do another half a double crochet, and do 2 together. So that's basically what I do. All the way around, I do 2 stitches together. So I'm joining, I'm not doing any more front post double crochets. So I do that for a round. I might do this for a while in the video, and then I'll pause it and show you what that whole round looks like. My yarn is not coming out of the skein very well. Let me see what's going on over here. For this hat, I use like a medium, like it's thicker than a worsted weight, but it's not as thick as a bulky. So it's a little bigger than the normal hats I've been doing. So just again to show you 2 stitches for double crochet together, yarn over, poke it in your hole, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, stop there, yarn over, poke through the hoop, yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 4, yarn over, pull through 2, then you have 3, yarn over and pull through all 3. That is how you do 2 double crochets together. So this next round, I do 2 stitches together all the way around. I'm going to pause, finish this up, and show you what it looks like when they're all done. I'll just do one more here for you. Okay, let me pause. Okay, so what I have here that I'm going to show you, and this is kind of with the go with the flow. It doesn't matter if your stitches are on and off. Right here, I have an extra stitch. So I'm just going to go through it, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, like I've done a double crochet. And then I'm going to just slip stitch it through, and then I'm going to bring it through all of these. That way, I just joined it together. I'm just relaxing about it. I'm not getting worked up that I had one extra. So this is what the next row looks like. 2 crochets together. That's what it looks like. Now, I'm going to do that again. Now, if you wanted to make this a ponytail hat, you know what? I think you probably would do one more row. I was going to say, you maybe could, if you were going to make this a messy bun hat, could probably make that opening. But I chain up 2, yarn over, poke right back up where I chain 2, pull through 2, leave those 2 on, yarn over, pull up 2, pull through 2, then 3. So I'm just double crocheting 2 stitches together all the way around again. Obviously my tripod is a little close and I can't seem to get my hands flatter. So hopefully this video is not like too in your face. Since I ordered this clover, or this tulip set, I've been using these tulip hooks almost exclusively. I like them a lot. I highly recommend them. if you're looking for a set of crochet hooks. Like I said, I bought the full set of 8 hooks, and I got a case and some scissors and some darning needles for $40 off of Amazon. It was a good deal. So I'm just chatting while I'm going all the way around. Now you're going to want to make sure you're paying very particular attention that you're actually going through the right stitches, because we're trying to close the top. So don't go back in here. Make sure you go back here and here for your 2 stitches together. Sometimes I am not paying very good attention, and because the loops are stretched out, I'm sometimes realize I went through a stitch I already went through. Okay, let's see here. Where am I? Yarn over, go through here. I really try to pull this this row tight. Yarn over, pull through here. Got 2 half double crochets there. Pull through all 3. Also, if you're not 100%, if you're kind of new to crochet and you're not really good at remembering where you started, you could put a stitch marker where you started, because sometimes it's hard to see and you end up crocheting all the way around doing a spiral. So that's this row again, another full row of doing double crochets together. I just have I have to go right back to here, so I just have a couple more to do. I'm not going in here, I'm going right here. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, right here, pull through a loop. I maybe should have chosen a better yarn to show you. And then I got this 1 stitch again. So I'm yarn over, pull through a loop, pull through 2, and then I'm going to join right here with my slip stitch, but instead of pulling through just that one, I'm going to pull through these others and just close it up. So basically what happened is I did not have an even number of stitches for joining. So when I joined my 2 stitches together, I ended up having an extra. Now, this is where you could, if you wanted, put a hairband and do this with a hole in the top for a messy bun hat. And that is what I did for my friend. Is right here, I put a stretchy black elastic, and I actually finagled it over my yarn so that I could pull up here, lay it here, and crochet it all the way around. But this, my friends, is not a messy bun hat. I just did those 2 rows together, and now, because I still feel like this is a little big, I'm going to do a single crochet together. Why? I don't know. That's just what I decided to do, and it seems to work. So I'm going to go right back in here. You put your hook through the loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 2 on, and then you go into the other hole. You poke it in, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have through 3, then yarn over and pull through 3. That is how you do 2 single crochets together. Poke it in your next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Look for your next stitch. Poke it in, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through all 3. And you don't have too many of these to do because you're closing it up. Yarn over, pull up a loop, don't yarn over again, look for your next stitch, poke it in, yarn over, pull up a loop, have 3, yarn over, pull through 3. That is 2 single crochets. And I'm trying to see, oh, I've got a couple more yet to do. I have not mastered this idea of working through a camera. Here is my next stitch. Yep. Yep, that's it right there. Yarn over, pull up a loop, get into my next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 3. Just a second here, my daughter's yelling. Well, I don't know if you guys just heard something inappropriate, but I'm just going to move through it. My daughter is having clothes issues. If any of you have preteens, you know what I'm going through. Okay, so I think these are my last 2. Single crochet together, poke that in the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, move to the next stitch, poke it in, yarn over, pull a loop, yarn over, pull through 3. And there it is. Again, because I have the odd number, I have this one lone stitch by itself. I just poke it in, yarn over, pull up a loop, and just like I did before, I go to where I would slip stitch, poke it in, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then I just pull it right through. So like I slip stitched. Now you could solve that by making sure you have an even number. So if that's something that's going to bother you and make you feel unhappy, then you should do that. But it doesn't bother me to slip stitch my stitch to the join part. Okay, so I'm going to pull a significant amount of this out because I'm going to sew the last part together. Here's my own little bird scissors. And I will show you what I've got. So this is the top of the hat. This is that last row that the gal in the tutorial showed me with the front post double crochets and the 2 double crochets together. This is my row of double crochets together. This is my second row of double crochets together. And this is my row of single crochets together. I have this little bit. What I end up doing is poking this right through there. I use my crochet hook to help me. And I stick it up there. I pull it through. Whoops. Gotta make sure. Man, that's a bizarre feeling when your hands are further away than what you think they are. And then I pull it through the underside of the hat. And then I sew this little hole shut right here. I just sew it shut. And really, to be honest, this one's not that bad. You won't have much sewing you have to do because this bulky yarn is a little fluffy. When you're using the Caron Simply Soft, the hole is a little bit more prominent. And then I'm going to show you guys something crazy. So for sewing it shut, I do this across pattern, like kind of like a star. Yeah, I just go across and then I go across again. I don't know if y'all can see that. And then I go diagonals. There it is. It's sewed shut. Oh, I'm going to join these two. And then I just take and I learned this from Mikey from the Crochet Crowd. I just choose a spot that seems to be pretty thick with stitches. And then I slide my hook through, or my needle through one way. And then I take my needle and I go back, slide it through the same way. I do this 3 times. Why? Because Mikey does. And he says that your needle never travels the same path. So, and then you can just snip that. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And that is how I closed up the top of my beanie. So this is the one from the gal that has the top so that you can put a pom-pom on it. And this is how I closed it up so that it did not have to have a pom-pom. There it is, a little spiral on top. That's it. Now I'm going to show you guys something crazy. So since I started crocheting, my yarn drapes across this finger. I'm going to show y'all. You guys are in for a treat. I actually was kind of wondering if anybody else has this problem. So that's my slip stitch. So when I'm crocheting, when I push my finger out, this is how the yarn goes, right? Well, it drapes right across here, and it's given me kind of a lump. Do you guys see that? It's like a crocheting callus. There it is. At first I thought I was getting arthritis like my grandma, but instead I'm developing like a crochet callus, which on its own is not that bad. You see that? But you want to know what's really crazy, friends? It's causing my nail, maybe I'll put it back further, you can see it. You can't see it at all. There, you can sort of see it's causing my nail to grow crooked with a ridge. You see that? Isn't that nuts? You can see it better like that. There it is. So this lump right here on my finger is caught, my crochet callus. It's causing my nail to not grow straight anymore. It's like having an indentation in my nail growth. Isn't that nuts? So I just didn't know. Does anybody else have a crochet callus on their finger? And that's, like I said, that's where my yarn drapes right across. And apparently I'm pulling it so tight, I'm causing myself to get this lump that's then causing my fingernail to not grow straight anymore. Well, anyway, I just thought I'd show you all that. that is how my little tutorial, my 14-minute tutorial. And again, I'm sorry, I have kids in the background, so you might have heard some crazy stuff. Apparently my daughter has a hole in her pants. And I don't know how to edit, so I'm not going to know how to take it out. I'm just going to have to hope it wasn't as loud to you all as it was to me. But until then, until our next time to get together, happy crafting. Bye.